Okay, what's poppin', everybody? We are freaking back. Ayo, today we're back. It's part 2 of Defense of the Philippines 1941 World War II documentary. Obviously, go subscribe to Army University Press, and this is part 2. So there's a second part of this documentary. So it's Defense of the Philippines 1942. So this is 41. So yeah, so if you didn't see the first episode of our reaction, go check out in the description down below, and go subscribe to my first channel, the LDL31 channel. I'm going to start reaction videos there, so yeah, you can suggest anything, and my next upload is going to be on Sunday. So let's go, everybody. Let's start the recording first. I forgot. Great. Oh, here. Okay, so that's very quick. Come on, let's go.
Let me give you an example of the training status of the Philippine Army's divisions on the eve of the attack. Infantrymen trained on an average of 3 to 4 weeks before being forced to fight. Engineers got no training at all. Artillery never fired a practice.
Wait. So infantry is being trained 2 to 3 weeks, and engineers doesn't have training
Of the attack.
before the
Infantrymen trained on an average of 3 to 4
3
weeks
to 4
before being
weeks.
forced to fight. Engineers got no training at all. Artillery never fired a practice shot.
Oh.
Indeed, its first shot was aimed in the general direction of the approaching enemy.
Okay.
Infantry had no combat practice, no combat training, and little or no rifle or machine gun practice. The divisions did not have a full...
That's kind of... Oh, so their practice is they're using a replica. That looks like... what do you call that? Some thin iron and wood. And they made replicas of artillery. That's cool.
complement of artillery. There was no means of transportation for any artillery. We got practically no transportation for any purpose.
Oh, so they use... Okay, so they use this type of trucks. I don't know the name of the truck, but they use it as tanks. So they just... Okay.
The divisions were badly undermanned. They were all short of ammunition. We were terribly short.
Oh.
Of hand grenades, 50 caliber machine gun, and infantry mortar ammunition. My command was spread over an area 75 miles from north to south and 100 miles from east to west. The only means of communication with the various divisions was through the public telephone lines.
Oh.
The South Luzon Force, commanded by Brigadier General George M. Parker, Jr., was responsible for defending a zone covering the capital of Manila all the way south to the tip of Luzon.
Okay.
His forces were comprised of 2 Philippine Army infantry divisions, the 41st and 51st, that found themselves in the same training and equipment shortage situation as the North Luzon Force. They were supplemented by a battery from the 86th Field Artillery of the Philippine Scouts.
Okay. First and foremost, I'm sorry for pausing. That should be Bataan Island, not Batan, okay? That should be, because it doesn't... It's Bataan, okay? It's Batan. B-A-T-A-A... B-A-T-A-A-N and Island.
MacArthur's 3rd Force was organized to defend the Bisayan-Mindanao Islands area.
Whoa. That's a... Whoa, that's too many land for Douglas. General
It
Douglas.
fell under the command of Brigadier General William F. Sharp and included 3 Philippine Army infantry divisions, the 61st, 81st, and 101st. The Harbor Defense Force, under the command of Major General George F. Moore, was MacArthur's 4th Force and was comprised of 4 regiments of coastal artillery and 1 regiment of air defense artillery. The 5th and final force, located north of Manila, was the Reserve Force, under MacArthur's direct command. Along with USAFE headquarters, the Reserve's operational forces consisted of the Philippine 91st Division and the U.S. Philippine Division, consisting of 3 infantry regiments and the Division Artillery, or DIVARTY. It also included the 1st Provisional Tank Group, consisting of 2 tank battalions.
Okay.
Rounding out General MacArthur's command was the Far East Air Force, commanded by Major General Lewis H. Brereton. which, in December of 1941, was the largest concentration of Army Air Corps aircraft outside of the continental United States. Logistical support, including food, ammunition, weapons, and medical supplies, were transferred from depots on Bataan and the island of Corregidor and distributed to each defending force.
Oh.
This was done to support MacArthur's desire to defend as far forward as possible.
God damn, there's a lot of crates.
The 16th Naval District, under the command of Rear Admiral Francis W. Rockwell, was also a vital part of the defense force. With installation at Cavite, Olongapo, and Corregidor, it included cruisers, destroyers, submarines,
Whoa.
patrol boats, and the 4th Marine Regiment.
Wait. Holy crap. 5 destroyers, a USS Houston, a USS Boyce, 27 submarines, 28, oh wow, PBY-5A, and 6 gunboats, 6 motor torpedo boats, and the 4th Marine Regiment. Okay. I'm sorry for pausing. That's amazing. That's a lot.
Though under orders to assist in the defense of the Philippines, it remained independent of USAFE and instead reported to the U.S. Asiatic Fleet headquartered in Manila under the command of Admiral Thomas C. Hart. A testament to the early growing pains associated with creating a joint force, this lack of a unified command was not unique to the Philippines and plagued U.S. operations throughout much of the Pacific Campaign. For MacArthur and Rockwell, it upset unity of effort and further complicated their defense of the island.
And if we so there's okay, let's go, boys, let's go. Wait, so that means they're going to talk about the attack of the Japanese or their preparations. Okay, let's see.
Running low on resources in the summer of 1941, the Japanese prioritized the seizing of the Dutch East Indies and the Malay Peninsula ahead of all other goals.
We were in their way. We had to be removed. But in the Japanese way.
To do this, they understood that the U.S. naval forces stationed at Pearl
Japanese
Harbor
Prime Minister
needed to be
Hideki
neutralized,
Tojo. I know
and
this
that the
guy.
threat from U.S. naval and air power in the Philippines had to be addressed. Deciding on its final attack plans in mid-November, Japanese Imperial General Headquarters assigned Lieutenant General Masaharu Homa and his 14th Army to conquer the Philippines.
Whoa.
Lieutenant General Homa's army was made up of the 16th and 48th Infantry Divisions, augmented with additional armor regiments and mountain artillery brigades.
Okay.
Although they were called regiments, Japanese armor regiments were equivalent to American armor battalions.
Wow.
And Japanese tanks were of poor quality,
Oh.
their medium tank being smaller than the American Stuart light tank.
Oh.
The Japanese invasion of the Philippines was planned down to the hour, and by integrating land, sea, and air power, they quickly overwhelmed U.S. and Filipino forces, establishing several key lodgements.
Oh God.
Japanese plans called for the complete destruction of the Far East Air Force and the seizure of several key airfields throughout the island chain. This would give the Japanese air superiority, enabling Homa's divisions to attack without being harassed from the air. To do this, Japanese infantry would seize the key airfield on Bataan Island north of Luzon, while fighters and bombers stationed on Formosa would attack airfields on Luzon.
Oh God.
Japanese infantry
Wait,
would
hold
then
on. So there's a plane over there. That means, oh, the Japanese sent planes to attack Legazpi too. So yeah, Legazpi is obviously in the Bicol region, and I'm nearing there. Okay. Wow.
continue to other fields at Apari, Vigan, and Legazpi further south, culminating with the seizure of the airfield at Davao on the large island of Mindanao,
Oh,
south of Luzon.
Davao.
With air superiority established and several airfields secured, the 14th Army would be free to begin its main landings on Luzon.
Oh,
The 14th Army's main effort would then come ashore at Lingayen Gulf, some 200 kilometers north of Manila.
so you mean they landed in, or they sailed to they landed to near Bataan. I mean Baguio. Okay.
And began attacking towards the capital. A smaller force would land at Lamon Bay, 120 kilometers south of Manila, and proceed north to link up with the larger force in a combined assault on the city.
Oh, this is good, because there's two fronts now. They're going to try to attack the Philippines in two fronts. That's gonna be hard, because knowing that Filipinos is not really trained well, and this is their first time like fighting a huge force, a huge country, not like Spain and America, but a force with many planes, many boats, and hell, even army, a big army. So this is gonna be a challenge. This is good.
After capturing the capital, the Japanese could then seize Manila Bay and defeat any remaining U.S. and Philippine forces on Luzon, placing them in firm control of the largest and most important island in the Philippines.
8 December 1941. Oh, this is their attack, right? This is their attack.
The attack on Pearl Harbor signaled the start of the invasion of the Philippines. U.S. Asiatic Fleet headquarters in Manila was the first to be notified at 0230 hours local time on 8 December. General MacArthur, however, was not notified of the event until an hour later when his chief of staff heard the news over the radio. MacArthur immediately put his troops on alert. Attacked 4 months earlier than intelligence estimates predicted, MacArthur had only a fraction of the necessary equipment and supplies he needed to defend the Philippines.
Damn.
As the Japanese began their invasion, the majority of MacArthur's soldiers, and in particular the Philippine Army troops, lacked even the most basic necessities, from boots and helmets to serviceable rifles and ammunition.
Damn.
More importantly, they lacked the training necessary to fight as units in the
Imagine this. Okay, so this is still 1941, and obviously we still won this war, but the early years or early months of the invasion, look at that. Look at that. Filipinos isn't really trained well, doesn't have helmets, boots, ammunition, guns. Hey, this is gonna be a problem. And even supplies, that's a big problem.
field. In contrast, the Japanese forces were better trained and well equipped, with units having prior battlefield experience obtained during the ongoing Sino-Japanese War.
Yeah.
Concerned that his airfields and aircraft might suffer the same fate as those in Hawaii, Major General Brereton requested permission for his B-17s to begin bombing the Japanese airfield on Formosa. However, due to delays and miscommunication between Brereton and MacArthur's staff,
Wow.
Brereton's fighters and bombers did not mount an attack against Formosa. Instead, Japanese fighters and bombers, based only 800 kilometers away on Formosa, arrived over Clark and Iba airfields. With little opposition from antiquated anti-aircraft guns, the enemy attacked both facilities, destroying their radar equipment and strafing or bombing the aircraft that had been holding for permission to attack the Japanese.
Wow.
According to plan, Japanese infantry landed unopposed on Bataan Island that same morning. They then proceeded to seize and secure the U.S. airfield located there.
So imagine that. A miscommunication. Wow. A miscommunication. Why? Oh, okay.
And to establish a base for their short-range fighters. More importantly, the destruction of over half of Army Air Force assets at Clark and Iba airfields established Japanese air superiority over the Philippines on the first day of the war.
Wow. This is bad. 9 to 19th December. And oh, by the way, it's December. Oh God. Look, it's 9 to 19. It's almost Christmas. Wow.
The next day, 9 December, Japanese bombers from Formosa struck Nichols Field, destroying more aircraft and seriously damaging the installation. Opposition was light. Understanding that his ships could not expect protection from aerial attack, Admiral Hart dispatched the majority of his fleet south to Australia.
Wow. imagine like um, Prime Minister Tojo and Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler is like in Europe and like Tojo is in Asia. But these two are like, oh, even Mussolini. These three are like the allies. But the problem is Japan is far away. It's in Asia. So Hitler and Mussolini is the only allies that is fighting in Europe, while Tojo is facing China and trying to conquer China, Philippines, and heck, even Korea. So yeah, but I actually watched a documentary of like evolution of evil. If you want to know all about Prime Minister Tojo, go watch that video in the link down below. Check it out. He shot himself in the heart because he said it's like the way samurais die, because yeah, he's a samurai.
Following their departure,
I
the
don't know.
Japanese attacked the naval facilities at Kabiti on 10 December. As Kabiti burned, Japanese infantry, supported by naval aircraft and gunfire from the Japanese fleet, landed on Kamigen Island north of Luzon. The few U.S. aircraft left operational attacked units of the 2nd Formosa Regiment as it came ashore at Vigan and Apari, sinking one Japanese minesweeper and damaging 4 other vessels. Comprised of 3rd Battalion and half of the 1st Battalion 2nd Formosa Regiment, the 2,000-strong Kano Detachment came ashore at Vigan. Another similarly sized force, known as the Tanaka Detachment, comprised of the 2nd Battalion and the other half of 1st Battalion 2nd Formosa Regiment, attacked at Apari. These multiple landings were supported by 2 heavy cruisers, 2 destroyers, and defensive counter-air provided by fighter aircraft from Batan Island. Over the next few days, the 2 detachments broke out from their initial lodgements at Apari and Vigan and began moving south towards Manila along the coast on Route 3.
Damn.
On 12 December, 2,500 Japanese soldiers, known as the Kimura Detachment, came ashore approximately 500 kilometers southeast of Manila at Legazpi.
Whoa. In Legazpi. Okay. In Legazpi. In Legazpi. Really. Great. So I know they went to Albay. Great.
General Parker, commander of the South Luzon Force, sent untried elements from the 41st and 51st Philippine Army Divisions to counterattack.
Ooh.
But these were soon routed by the better trained Japanese. After
Obviously, man, because like, gee, imagine like sending the Filipinos in their first, because this is their first war. This is their first battle. I'm sorry, and sending them to counter a well-trained army. Oof, that's bad. That is bad. We don't even have helmets and boots. Jeez.
Seizing its objective at Legazpi, the Kimura Detachment began its march north on Route 1 to link up with the forces landing at Lamon Bay for the advance on Manila.
Look at their faces. They thought they won. I'm sorry. I still respect Japanese people, okay? I still respect them. 22 December 1941. Okay. Because imagine, like, the Filipinos don't have boots, so they're wearing what we call chinelas. They're like flip-flops, yeah. And imagine like they're trying to attack and you're wearing flip-flops with a hat. Like you're wearing an old school type of equipment. Like you wore those uniforms when it was the Philippine-American War, or hell, even the Philippine Revolution. The Revolution War. That's the Philippine Revolution. Yeah. If you don't know, if you want me to react to like the Philippine Revolution, like about it, comment down below. I might do it, and try to learn about the Philippine American War, the Philippine Revolution, and obviously gonna finish this. So yeah.
Keeping to Lieutenant General Homa's timetable for the taking of the Philippines, enemy landings until now had been minor incursions.
Oh.
However, on 22 December, Homa's main effort came ashore along the Lingayen Gulf, comprised of the entire Japanese 48th Division.
Damn.
With attached elements of the 16th Division. Homa's Lingayen force totaled just over 40,000 soldiers.
Whoa.
Following a carefully timed plan that called for landings at 3 different locations along a 24-kilometer stretch of the Gulf, the first wave of Japanese landing craft approached the beaches at 0500.
Jesus Christ.
Beginning in the south, units of the 47th Infantry Regiment and elements of the 48th Mountain Artillery landed at the village of Aguu. Overcoming rough seas and weak resistance from unseasoned units of the 11th Philippine Infantry Division, the Japanese landed most of their forces with minimal loss. The middle landing was conducted by units of the 1st Formosa Infantry Regiment and elements of the 48th Mountain Artillery at the village of Arangay. The landings were virtually unopposed.
Whoa, it's near Baguio. If you don't know, the Philippines' coldest location is Baguio. Yes, this place is cold, hella cold. If it's December, jeez.
1st Formosa troops soon turned south on Route 3 to join their comrades of the 47th Infantry Regiment who had landed at Aguu. The final landing, 2 hours later, by units of the Kamijima Detachment, composed primarily of the 9th Infantry Regiment, occurred further north at the village of Bawang. Moving ashore through rough waters, they briefly encountered stiff resistance from troops of the 12th Philippine Infantry Regiment.
Okay, they start
before
shooting.
seizing the village. Breaking out from their lodgment, they dispatched patrols along Route 3 to make contact with Colonel Tanaka's detachment as it came south.
San
along the road.
Fernando.
Advancing against light resistance, a unit of the Kamijima Detachment attacked along the Bawang-Baguio road that ran to Rosario through the Cordillera Mountains and then seized the airfield at Nagilian.
Oh God.
The enemy's success forced the 71st Philippine Regiment and elements of the 11th Philippine Division to withdraw.
Sheesh. Whoa, we're weak in this war. Jeez. Okay, chill. Japan, chill.
Meanwhile, the main body of the Kamijima Detachment
Baguio.
seized the village of Baguio
Baguio.
to prevent U.S. forces from outflanking the landing force and to act as a rear guard for the Japanese advance on Manila.
Down.
As the enemy began its move inland, Wainwright's 21st Division defended the southern shores. This left the soldiers of the 26th Cavalry Philippine Scouts, led by Colonel Clinton A. Pierce, to defend against Japanese movements south along Route 3 from the village of Puzurobio.
They're going to
Advancing
face
south along Route
this.
3, Colonel Hifumi Imai's 1st Formosa Regiment and elements of the 48th Mountain Artillery received little opposition from the inexperienced and lightly armed 11th Division
Down.
as they advanced
Oh,
towards
the
the
11th.
village of Dam Ortiz. Along the way, they linked up with the 48th Reconnaissance 9th Infantry Regiment and the 4th Tank Regiment. Both had come ashore earlier north of Dam Ortiz. After advancing out of Aguu, Colonel Isamu Yanagi's 47th Infantry and a battalion of the 48th Mountain Artillery faced weak resistance from a battalion of the 11th Infantry Division, which then retreated to Dam Ortiz.
Wow.
Aware of the growing advance on Dam Ortiz, General Wainwright ordered the 26th Cavalry to move from Puzurobio through Rosario and onto Dam Ortiz to aid in its defense. When the 26th Scout Car Platoon arrived at Dam Ortiz, they found the town unoccupied. The platoon then moved north on Route 3, where it made contact with the Japanese 48th Reconnaissance and 4th Tank Regiment.
Holy crap.
Unable to advance, the platoon returned to Dam Ortiz, where the 26th Cavalry was ordered to hold in a delaying action should a forced withdrawal of the North Luzon force become necessary. At 1300, Japanese aircraft, armor, and infantry units began the attack on Dam Ortiz. In response, Colonel Pierce asked for additional support from General Wainwright, who requested a company of tanks from Brigadier General James Weaver, the Provisional Tank Group commander. Due to a fuel shortage, Weaver was only able to send a platoon of 5 tanks, all of which were either destroyed or damaged by 47mm anti-tank fire or the enemy's tanks.
Oof.
By 1600, additional Japanese units joined the battle, and by 1900, Dom Ortiz had fallen into Japanese hands.
Dang.
Ordered to withdraw, Colonel Pierce's cavalry paid a heavy price in lives and horses, while performing successful delaying actions to protect the 11th Division's right flank. Attacked by the Japanese upon their arrival in Rosario,
Oh no.
the 26th Cavalry Regiment was forced to withdraw again, this time further to the south, where they were ordered to hold the road junction between Rosario and Baguio until its defenses became untenable.
Alright. So this is gonna be, we're gonna end it here. 23rd December 1941. Okay. I need to end it here. Part 3. It's almost done. Part 3, I'm gonna finish this documentary, and next we're going to the second documentary. This is part 2, and go subscribe to Armory University Press. Wow. Holy crap. So, wow, we were weak. Filipinos were weak in this war. I'm not saying like, oh, they suck, because obviously, mate, can you fight, but can you fight a well-trained army and win with just Filipinos that doesn't have helmets, doesn't have boots, like doesn't have ammunition, better guns, supplies? Jeez, this is actually hard to watch, because man, we're losing. But yeah, it's all right, because it's after this documentary we're gonna watch our victory, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe. But after this documentary, like this Defense of the Philippines 1941-1942, do you want me to keep on making like react to history videos? For me, yeah, I'm still going to react. So yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe. I'm actually go react to another video, maybe like in Sunday, because that's gonna be my next upload in this channel. And yeah, because in the LDR31 channel I'm only going to post there every Sunday. So yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe. And yeah, in Sunday I might actually go react to Halaluva Boss. Yes, I'm going to react to the final part. So yeah, I'm very excited. The other reactions to their episodes is actually in my channel. So if you want to go to the LDR31 channel, check it out. So thank you for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.